Hi, this is Cassie DW.
Moriah Wicker, Keller Williams in Plymouth, Mass.
Awesome. So this week and next, we figured we'd talk a little bit about us, and so you can get to know us as people. All right. So Moriah is 32. She lives in Kingston with her husband and 2 dogs. But Moriah, where?
I also have 3.
Oh, and 3 boys.
I also have 3 humans.
The most important ones, her 3 sons. What are your sons' names?
So Logan, which is named after my maiden name. Miles, as the only other boy name my husband and I agreed on. He's 3, Logan 6. And Elliot, which was my back pocket girl name if we had had a girl. And I gave my husband the option of using the name Elliot or having another child. And as of right now, we are done.
Yep.
So
Perfect.
Elliot is Elliot. And
Awesome.
He's 7 months.
Nice. And now, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Halifax.
Where I live now.
Yep. I have deep roots in Halifax. My mom was a career full-time paramedic and firefighter in Halifax. She grew up in Halifax. My grandfather was like the second person baptized at Our Lady of the Lake Church. So he helped install the water tower in Halifax. So when I moved from Halifax to Kingston, there were a lot of people that looked, because I did have kind of a label of being a townie.
Yep.
Grew up working for the rec department. So yeah,
awesome.
Halifax pride.
Love it. And what was your career before real estate?
So growing up, I had always kind of been in some sort of like coaching or educational field. Like I worked for the rec department, I coached summer camps, I'd always like worked with kids, and I graduated in high school in 2009. So at that time, what was like the peak of the Great Recession.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wanted to go to school for like something marketing based or something, you know, in a perfect world, I would have been like a Devil Wears Prada type role. At the time, the economy was really in a bad place, and I wanted to guarantee that I had a job out of college. So I went with something that had a very clear pathway. So I ended up picking teaching, and I'd always done really well in history. So I went to school to be a social studies teacher. Nice. So for secondary education.
All right. Absolutely hate social studies. I don't think I ever got above a D in my entire life. Math person here. Yeah. And where did you go to college?
Emmanuel in Boston. Nice. So I played volleyball at Emmanuel, and yeah, did all 4 years there in the city.
Love it. All right. Now, how did you get into the real estate business?
So my oldest son, Logan, when he was first born, he had bacterial meningitis. Oh, no. So he was really sick. Not right away, but after we got him home from the hospital, he had like one night where he was really sick, and we took him in, and turned out it was like really a life or death situation. And we ended up being admitted for 2 months straight. And I realized that I wanted to guarantee that I could be kind of very involved with making sure that he made a full recovery, was hitting all his milestones. When I did the math on what it was going to cost me to pay for daycare if I did stay in teaching, my weekly net teaching was $555.
Yep, understand that.
So after paying for daycare, and then after getting gas, you know, I spent about $40 a week to fill my tank to get to and from. I taught in Mansfield at the time, and it was about $40 a week for me to fill my tank. I would have had about $60 a week to my name after paying for daycare. So for me, it just made more sense to stay home with Logan, make sure he made a full recovery. Yep. It was my first kid. So, you know, thankfully he did make a full recovery. He's doing really well. Got through kindergarten, which kind of we knew was going to be like our first test of how he's doing, his reading, all that. So awesome. I decided that I was going to take a year off and kind of watch him. And in that year off, I kind of went through like some self-discovery of like, you know, I think I may want to do something different. If I continue teaching, I'm going to have to get my master's, pile on some more student loan debt. Yep. And I ended up actually seeing a Groupon for a real estate licensing class.
Seriously?
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
I signed up for the class, knew nothing about real estate, like could not have known less about the business, how you bought a home. My mom had always lived in the same home. I didn't know anybody that ever bought a home yet. Like none of my friends.
So you hadn't read any of these books yet?
I like business. Like I have no business background, no entrepreneurial background, with the exception of like my neighbor growing up was Nesrella's.
Okay, yeah.
So like when I was 6 years old, I would like go over there and help him. And I remember like getting paid like a tote of apples for like whatever I did, and like helping out.
Yep.
Other than that, I never really, like I never knew anybody that was in real estate. I kind of just knew like people that had like small town blue collar jobs. So I never really thought of anything bigger than what I knew. So I kind of did it on a whim and figured like, it'd be a good like skill to learn, and worst case scenario, I'll make my money back if I just do one deal.
Yep.
I was, at that time, my husband was also transitioning out of his full-time career. So we were.
Why not make another huge change?
Yeah. And we were really struggling for money, honestly, too, at that time. Like, I had a new kid, we're in a rental, I'd been a teacher, like I said, making $500 a week. Like, financially, we were pretty tight. And I actually, the check I wrote to take my test to be a realtor, that check bounced.
Yep.
So, and I knew it when I wrote it.
Yeah.
But I got the license
just to
anyway,
get in there.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So what do you think, other than real estate, what do you do with your time?
So I try to be with my kids as much as I can. Obviously, this is a 24-hour job, 7 days a week. So I try to be with them as much free time as I can. I also coach sports still. I did recently stop coaching basketball just because I really was seeing my time with my kids being impacted, and something had to give. So I pushed that off the plate. I'm still coaching volleyball. That's really like my number one passion outside of like my kids and real estate. So I coach volleyball in the fall, and then I also coach middle school in the spring. So high school in the fall, middle school in the spring, and I do a little summer camp.
So it's nice to still be involved with the kids in school, but not have to be that full-time teacher.
Yeah, they keep me hip.
Yeah, that's for sure. Awesome. So in real estate, you've been in the business for quite a few years now. What do you think is your real estate superpower? Like, what have you learned the most?
Probably, like, honestly, everything I learned from being a teacher. So despite the fact that I had that student loan debt and, sometimes look back, like if I got in the business sooner, what things would have looked like. But now that I'm in the business, my organization, my calendar, my, borderline OCD, those things, that type A personality helps kind of guarantee that a transaction moves along in a sequential way.
Yeah.
And also, I would say, just like, again, teaching, like I try to make sure that my clients, by the time they get from A to Z in the transaction, they could be a realtor themselves. Like, I don't want them to, be like, oh, we just like went through a whirlwind and, woke on the other side, have no idea what happened or what we signed. Like, I try to be as educational as I can from A to Z. So.
Yeah, honestly, and that's, side note, if anyone wants any organizational help, reach out to Moriah, and she will get you on a Google Calendar, Google Keep, all that good stuff.
I actually like, I'm not that way by nature. I have to credit a high school teacher that I had as a teacher. He also taught me triple threat.
Seriously?
Basketball, yep. And I had him as a teacher, and I didn't actually learn this until I was his paraprofessional, Mr. Pina, Tony Pina. So like, coaches softball there, and his system of organization in his classroom, it didn't hit me until I was like 22, honestly. But like, watching him try and teach kids how to do this, like, I
finally figured it out.
Like, yeah, like, this is how you could like be organized. And for me, like, I'm a big time person. Like, time is a commodity you can't get more of. So I try to find as many tools that I can to like hack my time.
Love it. Yeah, no, trust me, and it's already helping me trying to stay organized and get there. You'll learn it. That's not one of my strengths,
early, but
yes, I'll be on time, and she'll organize everything else.
Yeah.
All right. So, kind of outside of the business world, what is your favorite TV show?
So, well, outside of the business, I was going to say business. I love $1 Million Listing LA.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite show, honestly, is either a tie between Seinfeld or Frasier. Like, I've probably watched those over and over and over again.
Yep.
But recently, this year, I would say my favorite for 2024 is Suits.
Okay.
I loved Suits.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Suits, but I haven't read
good.
it. How about favorite book?
Favorite book is honestly probably The One Thing. It's, written, it's a Keller Williams book, but for me, my husband's read it. Like, when my mom went through, like, she had a stroke, it, the words of One Thing I found like coming off the page for me, helping her kind of like, one thing to focus on right now. Like, what's the one thing you can do to make everything else easier? okay, that's the thing you're going to do tomorrow. That's the thing you're going to do today. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love that one. All right, back to business. What do you think your best advice for buyers would be?
Best advice for buyers is don't aim, right? That's ready, aim, fire. Eventually, you're either going to be in or out. I made that mistake when we went to, potentially buy our first home. We ended up falling into the rental trap and, paid X amount of dollars over 5 years to a landlord, obsessing over trying to find the perfect first home when you really, I'll tell people, you have to get in the door. And if you've ever done the paperclip trade up story, trade a paperclip for a hair tie for a brush for whatever. And eventually some girl or kid traded up a paperclip all the way up to, I don't think she bought a house, but she was able to, whatever her last trade was enough money for a down payment.
Yeah.
For her pre-approval to buy a house. So you got to get in the door, get your paperclip.
Yep.
And then you can trade up to your forever home.
Love it. How about the other side? Best advice for sellers?
For sellers, I would say right now, I would say for a general market, sellers don't discount preparing your home for the market. I love when a seller, like off tangent here, when I go get my hair done, I just say to the woman, you're the hairstylist. I know nothing about hair.
Yep.
Will make me look good.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I'm a blank canvas. And when a seller allows us to come in and rearrange their furniture, it's not like we don't want to offend somebody by moving their stuff around.
Yeah.
But if someone lets me get in there and really get my hands on their stuff and move things around and kind of be free to use as a blank canvas, that's huge. So I would say don't discount the ability to stage your home. And it doesn't mean you have to go out and spend all this money. It can just be moving around the things you already have in your home.
Yeah.
So just prepare your home for the market. Don't just stick a sign in the yard and take some photos. Really spend a solid 2 weeks, in an intimate way with your agent, getting the home ready for the market.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in this market, people are trying to again, time things to be perfect, just kind of buyers, trying to time perfection. And you have to pull the trigger when it's the right time in your life, not when you think you're going to make the exact most amount of money, because by the time you have that answer, it's already passed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So last one, a little fun. Let's do 2 truths and a lie.
Okay. So 3 facts about me.
Okay.
This is tough because you know a lot. I have been to 15 states.
Okay.
I have been on an MTV show.
Okay.
And so tough because you know so many things. My favorite food is pizza.
Okay. I am going to guess MTV show.
Is what?
The lie.
That is the truth.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
You were on an MTV show?
Yes, when I was in high school, MTV Made came through my school, and a classmate of mine wanted to become a ballroom dancer.
Seriously?
And they had to pick 5 people to try out with them, and one of the people had to be a varsity athlete. So that's how I ended up as a contestant or a participant on MTV Made.
That's so cool. All right, yes, you did not know that, and that's an awesome story.
What's the lie?
Your favorite food is pizza.
No, I love pizza.
You've been to 15 states.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. It could be true. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how many states I've been to.
Yeah.
I want to throw you off with something good.
All right. Yeah. That's awesome. So cool. Well, yeah, thanks for, introducing yourself, and then, we'll learn a little about me, and hopefully we can help you guys out and get you guys where you need to go for your next move.
Absolutely.
All right.
Have a great week.